Hey Leute und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Folge von Vampyr. Ja, ihr Lieben, in der letzten Folge haben wir zum Schluss gespeichert und jetzt hocken die drei jungen Männer hier unten immer noch. Oh, hi! Was geht? Nicht viel, oder? Ich hab keine Lust auf sowas. Oh, hi! Dich habe ich ja gar nicht gesehen. Ja, voll. Ja, lass dich 5-mal treffen. Den habe ich ja gar nicht gesehen. Ratte.
This is despicable.
Aber bringt dir Blut.
I have this thirst for blood.
Übertreibe ich das bisschen mit ihm? Ich glaube, ich gehe gerade nicht den guten Weg mit ihm. Steht doch jemand, dieses Kind, ey. Ei. Da ist einer. Da unten sind welche, die lasse ich, glaube ich, erstmal am Leben. Wir müssen dahin. Oh Gott, müssen das immer 3 Leute sein? Ich kann die auch nicht umgehen, oder? Nahkampfwaffen mag er nicht.
It's locked, all right. I'd step back, sir.
Au. Au. Ich sollte vielleicht erstmal die Kleinen machen. Autsch, das tut weh. Nein, 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 nein. Da hat er gerade das Spiel geruckelt. Ja, hau doch mal. Danke. Das wollte ich eigentlich nicht, aber egal. Ich habe es irgendwie geschafft. Mir bleibt ja auch nichts anderes übrig, als die Leute umzubringen. Also. Aber man hat ja gesagt, bringe ja nicht so viele Menschen um, sonst Depri-Phase hier. Nee, da gehe ich erstmal nicht runter. Da unten hocken so viele Leute. Der hat was verloren. Sag bloß, ich muss unten lang. Und hätte mir diesen Weg ersparen können.
It's locked.
Ja, alles klar. Ich höre einen Werwolf. Finde ich das super? Nein. Da kommen wir nicht hin. Oh, Gott sei Dank, wir kommen hier lang.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Aber warum holen die Leute hier, die Leute, die geheilt werden wollen, hier hin, wenn hier der Bezirk eigentlich ganz nett ausgedrückt am Arsch ist? Aber wirklich sehr nett ausgedrückt. Oh, Kiste. Große Pillendosis. Schrotwaffe. Schrotpatron. Nicht Schrotwaffe. Ich glaube, da oben kann ich mich hinspawnen. Soll ich hier hin? Ich vermute. Lecker Fleisch. Ich wollte gerade sagen, geht die Tür jetzt hinter mir zu? Ich kann hier nichts machen, oder? Warum bin ich dann hier? Gut, dann können wir hier nichts machen. Dann heißt es wieder nach oben. Da liegt einer. Guten Tag. Sie leben nicht mehr, oder? Nee. Albert? Das hat geruckelt gerade.
It's locked, all right.
Ah, alles klar. So, hier haben wir noch was. Aber ich gehe mal nach oben hin.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Das ist Albert.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Krass. Arsch. Wir fragen natürlich erstmal alles rum.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Natürlich, sie das Leben.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
Was du getan hast, ist unverzeihlich. Du hast...
Yes, you did. And it was cowardly and inexcusable.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Arsch.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
Du kannst risiken, das ist keine Freiheit. Du bist so naiv. Die sind alle gut, die Antworten. Aber irgendwie ist da doch schon naiv.
You're being manipulated by these criminals. What's worse is that you're clever enough to know better.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Ich sollte ihn aussaugen. Einfach brutal aussaugen. Mehr sollte ich mit ihm nicht machen.
Goodbye, young man.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Benjamin Palmer?
Drugs from the sick and suffering.
Palmer?
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reid, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
So.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
Haben sie keine Ahnung.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Ist doch auch ein Name, oder?
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Alles klar, haben wir alles? Oh, wartet mal. Sorry. Warum fragen wir
Whatever the
dann
boy
gehen wir
did,
weiter.
I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy he just raped me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
So nett. Das sind barbarische Methoden, sie müssen. Wieder an die Front, wenn man eine Klatsche hat mit Medikamenten, ist doch schon
It's
barbarisch.
a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
Gut, dann haben wir ihn, glaube ich,
A
soweit
gun,
fertig.
alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Tschö, mit Ö, würde ich sagen. So, kann ich noch mal mit ihm quatschen.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Alter Kollege, ich saug dich gleich aus.
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots will be proud of
Wirklich.
me.
Mir wird schmecken, dir nicht. Ich schaue mich mal hier hinten um und ich sehe nichts. Gut, wir wollen aber nach Whitechapel. Ach nee, ich muss Darius finden, ich Trottel. Ui. Er ist weg. Palmer.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets.
Ja, ja.
Not me.
Und ich glaube, ich muss in die Richtung. Ach, Herr Jemine. Hier sind aber viele. Sag bloß, ich kann mit denen einzeln quatschen. Gottes Willen, nö. Ach, das ist Benjamin. Hallo,
Good evening,
Madame.
miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reid, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reid.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Warum nicht?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
So eine Lolita, die hier steht, mitten in im Bezirk, wo Mord und Totschlag ist, in so einem Outfit, der würde ich auch nicht trauen.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Ja, fragen wir einfach mal.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Alles klar, dann haben wir die gute. Persönliche Fragen können wir nicht. Handel.
I'd
Was?
like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Wenn so eine große... Dieser Gegenstand kann zerlegt werden. Klar, nehme ich da mit. Opium. Ich spare mal das Geld. Wahrscheinlich brauche ich das irgendwann. Migräne. Ich habe keine Kopfschmerzen. Ich kann euch nicht helfen mit Kopfschmerzen.
I could get some working. Everything would be better.
Kleine Herzen sehe ich hier nirgendwo. Kleine Herzen besonders. Der junge Mann ist tot. Da gehe ich in die falsche Richtung. Da hinten. Da konnte ich auch gerade kurz was erspähen. Ich dachte, das wäre was. Der hatte nämlich auch Migräne. Da ist auch ein ganz großes Y. Erkältung. Oh, ich hätte dir helfen können. Renn nicht weg. Kadogan. Der.
Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reid from the Pembroke.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say, a live tenant's a paying tenant.
I'm looking for
Komische Leute.
Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you tell me about her?
Dorothy Crane, bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
Warum sind die alle so angepisst? Warum wirken sie so fröhlich hier?
It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
Gut, ich lasse sterben.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reid, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
Ich würde ja wirklich, das ruckelt ab und zu mal, das hier nehmen. Und der ist ja echt wirklich verachtenswert.
I'm no saint, but to take advantage as you do, you are a despicable man who could only prosper in these dark times.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reid tonic could have really helped people, you know, save lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swamburer's shit.
What is
Hast
your
du was Falsches
business
ausgesucht?
exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
Der ist eindeutig abstoßend. Der ist abstoßend, wenn er dann noch,
You
Ich
obviously
mag ihn.
place yourself above the misery of Whitechapel, but you are as repellent an individual as I have ever met.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
also ganz ehrlich, so einer Person möchte ich nicht in irgendeiner Weise helfen.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. It made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you. I want to know everything about the recent violence, Cadogan. And I want the truth.
Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few people. But that's business, isn't it?
Hätte ich sie nur später aufgelesen. Ich mach mal das.
Take this as my final warning. You will not profit from the misery of others. Business is one thing, but what you do is quite another.
Really? What you gonna do? You ain't from here. You ain't Whitechapel, Doctor. You wouldn't know the first thing about playing dirty, even if you wanted to.
Oh, ist abscheulich, ey.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
Den sollte ich aussaugen. Weil hier hinten lag noch was, das habe ich von Weitem gesehen. Und wir gehen jetzt zu Darius, den Guten.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Oh, ich hätte einfach A drücken können. Die ist immer noch mit Blut beschmiert.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Die sehen mich aber auch nicht,
I
ne?
must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Gut, dann wollen wir dies auch schnell vollrichten. Ich mag den nicht. Ich lasse ihn an der Erkältung sterben. Ja, klar. Hör doch mal auf damit. Die armen Leute. Unbekannt, unbekannt. Die quatsche ich einfach mal voll, glaube ich. Dann kennen wir die.
Welcome, sir.
Die Leute hier
Please take a
kennenlernen.
browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Sie ist eine gute Schwesterklage Klar, beschuldigen Sie die Migranten. Ich überlege gerade hier zwischen den beiden.
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
So.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Das wird eine lange Nacht, die ganzen Leute
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every
zu
day.
befragen.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Geweihten zu.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Zombies. Nice. Leben in London hatten wir ja schon. Persönlich haben wir nichts.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Schauen wir mal. Oh Gott, da hat ganz... Ich muss sparen. Gut, dann haben wir wenigstens den Händler jetzt hiervon. Wer bist du?
Excuse me, sir.
Den kennen
I
wir doch
have a
irgendwo
few
her.
questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reid, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Da sind die alle nett.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Achso, so, über die, Ach,
According to
so
you,
viele Fragen, ey.
physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Das ist aber nett.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
So nett, ey. So richtig... Hey, ich mag alle hier.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Überleben ist ein Naturgesetz. Sie hätten sich weigern können. Ah, das ist alles...
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Himmel, Arsch und Wolkenbruch. Ich weiß schon gar nicht mehr, zu wen ich hinlaufen muss. Warte. Nein, ich will...
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on,
Ich
back.
unterbreche mir das
Fancy
einfach.
buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
Oh, es gibt so viele Fragen
Joe
hier.
Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Trauen ist niemand mehr, was soll?
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
Das wollte ich jetzt eigentlich nicht machen, ihn beistehen, aber egal.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Gut, ich glaube, wir haben hier...
Goodbye for now,
Nichts.
Mr. Lewis.
Wo ist denn... Ja, scheint... weg zu sein. Oh, kann ich da rein?
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reid, and I would like to ask you a few
Kann ich auch?
questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Oh,
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you,
So my father actually worries about me then. Okay then. Come on in.
Nice, Clown.
I'm Harry, by the way.
Harry.
My dreams are soaked with gloom.
Petersens Haus. Clown. Erschöpft. Oh, ich habe keine Medikamente.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Ich will aber jetzt nicht immer alles...
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Oh, das tut mir aber leid jetzt. Ach, persönliche Fragen hatten wir.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Ich muss eindeutig Medikamente machen.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Dein Vater hat sein Bestes gegeben. Deine Lage könnte... das ist ja wirklich nicht toll. Das ist jetzt... Wartet mal.
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
Oh.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reid. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Gut, dann können wir ja wieder abhauen.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Ich klaue noch mal eure Sachen. Tresor.
only pain and suffering in this world.
Ich würde dir ja gerne helfen, aber ich habe absolut keine Medikamente. Das hätte ich vielleicht mal machen sollen. Finde die Anwohner von Richard. Okay. Das habe ich ja gar nicht registriert, dass ich das machen soll.
It's locked.
Verdammt. Oh, Geld. Einfach mal geklaut. Sind schon arm genug, aber ich glaube mal ihr Geld. Denn ich kann es besser verwenden. Absagebrief. Sehr geehrter Mr. Peterson, es ist leider meine Pflicht, Sie darüber in Kenntnis zu setzen, dass wir Ihre Bewerbung für die Stelle in der Werft ablehnen müssen. Ich danke Ihnen dafür, dass Sie uns im Gespräch die Schwierigkeit Ihrer Lage mit Ihrem kranken Sohn und Ihrer verstorbenen Gattin erläutert haben. Es ist jedoch ein ausdrücklicher Teil unserer Firmenpolitik, keine ehemaligen Verbrecher oder Häftlinge anzustellen. Ihre unzähligen Verbindungen zu den berüchtigten Wet-Bot-Boys wurden ordnungsgemäß berücksichtigt. Dies sind schwere Zeiten, Sir, und Finch und Harper berücksichtigen zuerst jene Bewerber, die unsere flüchtigen Nachforschungen über unsere zukünftigen Mitarbeiter genügen. Sie haben mein tief empfundenes Mitgefühl. Möge Gott Ihnen und Ihrer Familie gnädig sein. Hochachtungsvoll, die Harper. Oh, das war schnell gelesen. Sag bloß, ich muss noch mal mit ihm reden. Was macht er den ganzen Tag zu Hause?
May I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reid. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Okay,
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Ich will hier raus.
Is there only pain and suffering?
Oh Gott, Leute, ist das ein Rumquatsch hier?
What do you want this time?
Ich war bei deinem Sohnematz.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. People won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak. And there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Ich muss eindeutig Mitte machen.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else. Whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Das ist sehr toll. Muss ich jetzt auch noch zum Sohnematz wieder zurück? Wartet, ich gehe nochmal zum Sohnematz. Bitte lass mich nicht anklopfen.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Sure.
Das sieht auch der die nicht, dass wir uns einfach... So, Bezirk ist bedenklich. Können wir das überspringen?
What could be worse?
Danke. Nee, gut, dann können wir hier abhauen und endlich nach den anderen suchen.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
Wir haben ja jetzt die ganze Zeit wirklich nur gequatscht. Haben wir irgendwas unbekannt? Er ist unbekannt. Er ist unbekannt. Die sind alle unbekannt. So, ich würde sagen, mit denen reden wir hier nochmal.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reid, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Ich bin Doktor. Doktor, der weiß ich was.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Ach, ein zurückgebliebener junger Mann, der noch in der Steinzeit lebt.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Oh Gott.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Okay, danke.
I have heard enough. Goodbye.
Oh Gott, ihr Lieben, ich glaube...
The walls of your home will not protect you, for there is no protection against malevolence and trickery.
Der macht ein Projekt Dance. Ich würde sagen, vielen Dank fürs Zusehen und bis zur nächsten Folge. Ciao, ciao.
Imprisoned by your daily routine.